as you can see, I am holding in my hands an old school classic XFL football from the very successful and lucrative XFL League. Now, even though it's not an NFL football, this ball has been inflated to the Bill Belichick approved 0.12 pounds. We all know Bill Belichick cheated and skirted the rules. We all know that Tom Brady knew that that football that he was holding before they kicked the living you-know-what out of the Indianapolis Colts was not inflated to the prerequisite weight. It's not about that. It's about guys who cheated, and now what faces Roger Goodell is, Roger, where do you stand on crime? He has had an awful, horrific season when it comes to public relations between the Ray Rice fiasco and the Adrian Peterson debacle. This is a great way to end a perfectly nightmarish season. Roger, what are you going to do? I realize these on-the-field infractions don't necessarily compare and are not apples to apples to the Peterson fiasco and the Ray Rice situation, but what are you going to do about this? Your good buddy Bill Belichick and his owner Bob Kraft continually have skirted the rules under your watch. You've got to take away draft picks, you've got to take away cash, and then you got to suspend this guy for a few games to show everybody you're not screwing around and you don't play favorites. Because if you don't, then we'll all know that you're a two-faced hypocrite fraud who's just trying to take care of his buddies. First things first, real quick, I almost forgot to mention this. If the Cowboys are going to get to the Super Bowl next year, first of all, this is a catch. You see that? That's what happens when you catch a football and you walk several steps. And then the covering corner even says, man, the dude made a heck of a catch. But that's here nor there. We don't want to belabor that point to death because we haven't already. The Dallas Cowboys are not that far away from actually being in the Super Bowl. But this is what we know for sure. The better team won in Green Bay, even if the officials made a god-awful call and accurately assessed a rule correctly. The only way the Cowboys are going to get to the big game at the end, A, everybody's got to stay healthy. B, they're going to have similar productivity from their offense. And C, by far and away the most important, their defense has got to be better. Now, they ranked 19th in the NFL last season in defense, but everybody up to and including defensive coordinator Rod Marinelli agrees they have got to pressure the passer. Sometimes quarterbacks during this season were texting people and playing video games on their cell phones when they had so much time to complete passes. If the Cowboys shore up their pass rush just a little bit, they can get to the Super Bowl. The Dallas Mavericks, before they acquired Rajon Rondo, were deficient in two areas. They didn't have reliable scoring from the point guard position, and they needed help rebounding-wise. Since they acquired Rajon Rondo for the Boston Celtics, they still need rebounding help in the worst possible way. In fact, if you can do that, you may want to apply for the job of the Mavericks. None of these guys can rebound other than Tyson Chandler. And their point guard position is a little bit better. The problem with the Dallas Mavericks is the Western Conference is so obscenely good, they need to be great just to finish in the top 4 of that conference. Right now, for the Mavericks to realistically say, oh, we're going to go to the championship, they're going to have to get the right draw, the right matchup, and Rajon Rondo at some point has got to hit some outside shots. The ball penetration and all those great things that he supplies on defense, it's all right there. The problem for the Mavericks is the player that he was for the Boston Celtics, they don't need on that team, and they don't have a place for him on that team. But he's a great talent, he's a contributor, he's a producer, he does all these good things intangible-wise, but if he can't hit an outside shot consistently, he's going to be on the bench, and everybody's going to be killing the Mavs for this trade if they don't go to the NBA title. No, John Daniels, you have not solved the Texas Rangers pitching problems because you need more than 3 pitchers to pitch an entire 162-game regular season. Now, got to give JD a little bit of credit here. I know everybody likes to kill JD in this town these days because the team lost like 158 games last season. Their top 3 of their rotation is bona fide, grade A legit. Yu Darvish, Derek Holland, and now they acquired Giovanni Gallardo, pride of Trimble Tech High School, by the way, to complete the top 3 of their rotation. That's as good as you're going to find in baseball. Top notch, could do very well in a playoff series. The problem is I have no idea who's going to be the 4th and 5th starter. In fact, I might even give it a shot. I still got a little bit of something left. I don't know who's going to pitch 4 and 5 in their rotation. I have no clue who their relievers are going to be. I have no clue who their third outfielder is going to be. And their catching situation is kind of a train wreck. And I don't know what the heck, Elvis Andrus is doing. But they do have 3 very good starting pitchers in Holland, Darvish, and Gallardo. After that, who knows? I have no idea. Well, tragically, we are at that point of the calendar where the last football game of the year is upon us. I don't know what we're going to do now for the rest of our lives, but Patriots, Seahawks, these are the 2 best teams throughout the entire regular season and obviously the playoffs. If I had to bet, and I don't normally bet on these things, but if I had to bet, I'd put my money on the Seahawks to repeat. Now, I know it doesn't happen very much, but if someone said, why would you put money on the Seahawks? Because they have the better defense. And even though the NFL has gone out of its way to make sure that more points are scored and that all the rules encourage more offense, the team with the better defense usually wins. The Seahawks have the better defense than the New England Patriots. It's going to be harder for the Patriots to cheat on a neutral site field. So give me Russell Wilson, give me Pete Carroll, and give me Marshawn Lynch for another Super Bowl champion. Well done, Seattle. Well, we've learned a lot here again for another issue of the Mac Attack here at Ojos Locos Sports Cantina in downtown Fort Worth. Make sure to join us next week when we'll be talking Stars. They still have a team. Dallas Mavericks, Texas Rangers. Spring training is just coming up. And now, the more exciting part of the calendar season, the NFL Draft.